And he never gets the damn call.
And when you add that to Kyler Gordon getting called, clearly was out of control, was pushed, and falling into Marcus Mariota and gets flagged on that. It's ridiculous. Like it's ridiculous that Justin Fields doesn't get these calls. And it's ridiculous that his style of play is part of the reason that he doesn't get the calls. I don't like it. Like I'm not ordinarily the type of person that cries about calls, but in the place that we're at right now in the NFL, where protection of the quarterback is supposed to be the most important thing for the game, when it comes to mobile quarterbacks, the league does not do a good enough job. And specifically with Fields, there's multiple opportunities there's multiple videos of him being hit late, him being hit high, him being hit in the head that have not been called this year.
He got smacked in the head on another play, which usually any contact to a quarterback's head, even if incidental, is flagged.
Yep.
I'm not saying that's the rule. And that's how we've seen it called. So I saw this at NBCSports.com. This is written by Josh Schrock.
Yeah, the new Bears beat reporter for NBC Sports Chicago.
Or Josh Rock. It's like Yacht Rock or Cop Rock. It's Josh Rock. And he had some terrific quotes here from Brisker.
Okay.
He's very tough, Brisker said. Especially the league. If that was a different quarterback, they'd be throwing hella flags. A lot of flags. I feel like the league has to look at that. It's crazy how many times he gets hit in the head every single game, but he still gets up. Gets hit out of bounds, late or near the white. If that was Tom Brady, Jared Goff, or anybody like that, they throw in flags immediately, just as you've seen today. They threw a flag to Mariota. He tripped over himself. I feel like they got to respect Justin some more and look at him as a quarterback, because obviously there should be more flags. He's getting targeted every single game, and none of them are being thrown. When asked why, Brisker said, I don't know. Maybe because he's strong. He's physical. I don't know. He's a quarterback. I feel like he should get the same. It should be equal, just like everybody else. Amen.
Kwani B is on point. He should be getting the same type of protection that pocket passers tend to get. And Mariota is a more probably in the mode of Justin Fields, but he got some of that protection yesterday. And it's not we talked about it a couple weeks ago, Dan. It's very much the way that like Shaq was officiated. And remember the coach in the WNBA, I forget the coach's name, got in trouble for making a similar comment about Liz Cambage, the big former Phoenix, former LA center, that sometimes players that have these incredible physical gifts that are a bit of a outlier physically compared to even their peers, which is crazy to say, don't get the same level of calls, and it's BS to me.
Yeah, it's hard to compare basketball, though. And Derrick Rose went through this, too, just because of his...
Well, that's why I said post players.
Yeah.
I was using post players because think about all the calls that Shaq didn't get in his career.
Right. But, man... We know football's more inherently more dangerous. The physics of the game are just more dangerous. It's more important to protect these guys than it is from a stray forearm or an elbow or a shove in the hip. These guys are in full body armor, and they're flying at each other horizontal to the ground at top speed.
Yep.
It is. If you're protecting Tom Brady, and Brisker named names. I like that. I like that he named names. And if you're making sure that some guys can't get breathed on and other guys can get hit in the head, not fair, not right.
Did the Bears, I can't remember, did they get a late hit call last week against, like maybe that's why it was fresh in his mind that he was thinking about Jared Goff. But he gave two prototypical pocket passers that do get protection. Like it's really, really like it's bad. Like the hits that are on him are bad. So this text says, if you run, it's fair game.
Not when you slide.
Shut up.
Yeah, come on.
Once the player is down, and he was literally down and touched down and was hit after that, and there was no flag.
Stay in the pocket, Black.
I mean, that's basically what this guy is saying. And maybe I don't know if that's what Brisker is implying. I don't know if that's what he's saying. I've kind of tend to look at it as
Cam Newton. Ask Cam Newton, who spent a career openly trying to lobby for equal protection under the rules.
Right. But and then the it's like, oh well, you're 6'5", 260. Like so why shouldn't
I'm a quarterback.
I'm also a quarterback. Why shouldn't I get those calls? And Fields should get those calls. Like it's embarrassing now. Like when I watch it and you just see him get hit, you're like, come on, man. Like if that's literally anyone else, maybe he has to do what LeBron was talking about. Maybe now he has to start flopping. Mike Bibby be flopping. He's got to go do that now to try and sell some of these calls just to get specifically the referee whose job it is to protect the quarterback.
He's the one standing there. Although, I will say in Fields' case, he's farther down the field, and that makes it less of the referee's purview.
When you have a play where there's contact with the guy and the guy's knee is down, he's been touched down, and then someone hits him after that, it's a penalty. When someone hits him in the head, I don't care where he is, it's a penalty. Just call them. That's all I'm saying. It annoys me because you see it and you're like, it doesn't feel fair. And that's all you want, is that you want a game that refs are going to miss calls, but for them to miss that call as frequently as they miss it with him, it just makes you go, what are you watching if you're not watching him?
So what does a team do? And I'm not sure exactly what the protocol is here, whether or not a coach has to take time at a press conference and make a public statement, understanding exactly what he can and can't say, or
maybe you got to take the fine.
Or is this done via diplomatic back channels?
I think that you have to go kind of the Phil Jackson route.
Phil Jackson, George Karl playoff series route?
Yeah, like you got to make it public. You got to make it public, and you got to let people know.
My guy's getting clobbered out there. Yeah. It ain't right.
And if it costs you $20,000 or whatever the fine is going to be, so be it. And maybe that gets you that call.
Or before games, there's always discussions with the officiating crew, and you say, hey, please be vigilant on
protect our guy. Yeah. Like, watch our guy. Our guy is big and strong, and he takes a lot of hits, but that doesn't mean that he should have to take illegal ones. But I think that it's risen to the level of, like, you heard Justin say, yeah, that should have been a penalty, and kind of left it at that. You hear his teammates sticking up for him. To me, you can send all the videos that you want. Like, to me, that doesn't do a ton. I think, and it doesn't seem like it's in Eberflus's nature to go ham at a press conference. But I think if ever there was a time to do one, that was the time. That was the time to do it. And say, hey, our guy's getting hit. I wish that they wouldn't look at Justin Fields as if he were a running back. He's a quarterback that happens to be able to run, and he should be afforded the same protections that other quarterbacks are afforded.
As noted in the last graph of this piece by Josh Schrock at NBCSports.com, said the Bears send in plays to the league after every game for feedback to help teach their players. They might want to send a few of the late hits Fields took Sunday in Atlanta and try to get him the same calls most of the other quarterbacks the NFL enjoy. So when they send plays into the league, is that just sort of an open-ended, please advise?
Yes.
Why was this? Why wasn't this? But it's not part of a larger presentation. It's not part of an argument.
I think they did that with the Claypool no call earlier this season, a few weeks ago, when they went up and there was clearly pass interference, and it wasn't called.
Correct. And then usually the league's like, oh, sorry, we should have called it.
And then the league responded and they said, yeah, we got that wrong.
You're right. Yep.
Yeah, but I hate that, whether it's the NFL or the NBA. I need to know that you're going to change your behavior. Like, I want your guys to be more vigilant on the call. I don't need an apology from the league that you missed a call that may have changed the game. I want people held responsible for them not getting calls correct. And that's been a bigger issue. Like we talked about refereeing overall last week. Layla made an impassioned plea last week for there to be better officiating overall. This to me is health and safety stuff. The stuff that you say that you're about.
Yeah, get this right first.
Yeah. And then we can work on the other stuff.